Hey everybody, so we got an update on the mock-up for the wiring for the air horns for the 4Runner. So please stick around, check out the video, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. Hey everybody. Alright, so let me see if I can set this up. So I have an update. Kind of got all these wires everywhere, so bear with me, folks. Alright, so I did get it to actually finally work. The switch is actually lit up on constant power for the LED light. So, and I tried this with separate grounds. I tried it with all the grounds looped together. It works the same. So for these switches in particular with the LED red halo or the blue halo, in order to get them to work, which would be pin 4. Okay, so pin 4. And pin 3 is up here. So pin 4 is this blue wire right here. It needs to be attached to 86 on the relay, which is this white wire. So when you push the button, the relay clicks. Now the downside to this I've seen, let me plug the compressor positive into here. So the relay is clicking. I can feel it. Now, downside, when you remove this relay, the compressor still works. But I did get it to click, and that's with the light LED halo light always on. Now how I wired this, which I didn't wire it this way before, was pin 30 and 87, which is the blue and the yellow on the relay, as well as pin 3 on the switch, as well as the positive on the switch. If you want the light to always be on, you attach it to here, to your always positive, to the battery. Now if you want the LED light to come on only when you push the button, you would actually switch this around. So what you would do would be pin 3 and positive would actually go to the switch side. So you would basically switch with these right here, and then you would attach pin 3 to the always positive. So now when you push the button, the LED light turns on. Oops. So I'm going to unplug the compressor. So now when you push the button, the LED ring lights up and the relay clicks. as well as if you plug the compressor in. It's kind of hard to... And the relay does click when you do that. The downside is I can't figure out if it's working properly or not. I could have swore once you remove the relay, it should cut all power. I could have swore that's how it's supposed to work. I haven't wired in a relay manually in a while, but it still works even though I remove the relay. Here's the relay. So I could, this setup could be wired wrong as well. I did take the recommendation from the gentleman on the last video. Let me go look at his information real quick. His name was Jason Levesque. He said, try separating the grounds, one to the battery and one ground to just the compressor motor. I had lights with a switch that did the same thing. When I separated the grounds, they worked correctly off the switch. So that was his suggestion. This compressor, constant duty compressor, is kind of warm. So it is now functioning where it's activating the relay. Now I would prefer this light to always be on, but I was thinking about it. If I wire it that way, this light's going to be on 24 hours a day, even if my truck's off. And this is an LED, so it's probably only pulling like maybe 5 milliamps. It's not very much, but that could be costly on a battery, especially if, you know, it causes a parasitic draw. But and the only reason I want this switch to always be on, with the LED light always on, is so when I'm driving down the road, I have the switch on the dash. I don't have to look down or look for the switch. I could just, you know, with my peripheral vision, I can see the light, put my hand up, push the button, and still pay attention to the road. But, you know, there is another way of working around that. I could wire another switch to this switch, like a toggle switch, where the toggle switch, when I flip the toggle switch, that allows this to turn on. And then I can push the button. So when I get in the vehicle, I can flip the toggle switch on, and then the horn button's activated. And then when I get out of the vehicle, I can switch the toggle switch off, and the horn button is deactivated. I could always do that. You know, let me know what you guys think. You know, is that something you'd like to see? If I do it like that, all I'd have to do is switch the single blue with the blue and the red to the positive. Basically just like this. Now the switch is always lit. And I'll turn this light off so you guys can see it a little better. There you go. And then if you attach the blue, single blue on the switch, with the white 86, switch light is always on, and a relay is activated. So I can do a third video on this. I do have it functioning. I can do a third video if you guys are interested. I can set the third video up where we can add a secondary switch into this. Like maybe something I put under the dash or something. I can reach under and flick it or something like that. That will deactivate this switch when the vehicle's off. If you guys want to see that, let me know. It is functioning now. And you just, these two wires over here, around here, compressor. Compressor works. So, it wasn't a grounding issue. Jason Levicu, if you get this video, it wasn't a grounding issue. I think it was just, I was wiring it up as a traditional circuit. Traditional relay. Traditional relay, positive power out is 30. Positive power in is 87. And I found, when I pulled the relay out of the box, I found this little bitty note right here. And this note says changeover relay. Switches current from one user to another, opening to closing power window. Use wire, gauge, and fuse listed by components manufacturer. Connector has 12 and 18 gauge leads. 85 is ground. Exactly how I set it up on my diagram. 85 is ground. 86, exactly how I had it on my diagram, is switched power. But where I had it different, I had yellow as 87, and I had blue as 30, which blue is 30 on the relay pigtail, and yellow is 87. But the way I had it wired yesterday on yesterday's video is I actually had yellow wired battery power coming in. So on this diagram, power in from battery, I had it on yellow, and blue I had power out to device. Today I actually have 87 as power in coming from the battery like I did yesterday, as well as 30. So I attached 87 and 30 to the power side of the battery. So now 87 and 30 are actually connected together, which is where it's now clicking, because power is going in the relay and it's coming out. So positive, so yellow 87 and blue 30, when they're connected together, the power is running in from the battery positive, going straight in, energizing the relay, and when you push the button, it's coming out. Oops. So attaching this leg of the switch to the 86 switched power, basically when I push the button, the relay clicks over and it allows power through the blue wire, yellow wire, and out the blue wire. And then ground is coming back up to ground to the battery. So I originally had it wired where 87 and 30 were on separate on the previous video. If you watch the previous video, which I'll put a link up here for the previous video, I had the yellow wire running to these items right here for the switched, and I had the blue for power out, and vice versa, because I've tried all of them. I even had blue to this one and this wire, and yellow to power out. And what it was doing is when you push the button real quick, it would force the compressor to constantly stay on. It would actually latch this relay permanently when I had it set up that way. So I removed it. Now blue and yellow 12 gauge wires, which is 30 and 87, are connected together, as well as the pin 4 and hot from the switch. And then pin 3 and 86 relay are connected together. So I'll make up another one of these diagrams, and maybe I'll do like a 4th video, or if you guys don't want me to add a secondary switch to this system, then I'll just do like the 3rd video with an updated diagram with this specific switch, so I can show it correctly. But yeah, I drew up this diagram in less than a minute, and in thinking about it, it's working now. I should have been smart about it before, because yeah, that makes perfect sense. Positive cut, wraps around, goes through 87, out 30, straight to the item. Then ground is 85, and 86 would be switched. So actually this diagram is correct. I just didn't think about it when I drew it. I was just thinking about the relay and adding the switch and what it would look like with the battery and the load. I wasn't thinking about how it functioned at the moment. It's been a while since I've done this. This should function with lights and anything else. These are chassis grounds, and then there should be inline fuses on both of the wires coming out of the positive. So the positive going to the compressor and the positive running to everything else, there should be a physical inline fuse. So everything that's going to go to this should have an inline fuse on it, as well as the one coming straight from the positive of the compressor should have a fuse on it as well. But that's it for this video. I appreciate your guys' time. Appreciate the comments and the suggestions in the comments to help me try to figure out why it wasn't working properly. And it seemed to be just user error, not necessarily a switch or relay problem. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon for future updates. Go check out my Amazon affiliate links, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.
Yeah.